Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the lore. Let's see, today I want to go over a few things. Let's see, digital interface apparatus. You see, in the near future, there'd be a streamer who decided to do experiments with a program that was like, hey, why don't I link my imagination up to a game program so I can make games in real time using my mind? And it kind of backfired and kind of gave her superpowers. And when it did, well, she kind of when it did, she kind of got this got this ability to turn into her own VTuber avatar, and also gain the power of using pixel magic to be able to make video games into reality. Yeah. Anyway, what this would lead to is her it would lead to her crystallizing this power to be able to create a sort of magical girl transformation ability, which would be in the form of a game disc, since it was an art apparatus that she could use to kind of use that power. And what would eventually happen with that is she would want to make her own games, and she'd want to make her own games in Game World, and she kind of set up this 4-temple challenge where there was gonna be a wind, water, fire, and earth temple based on different types of philosophy and stuff. And there'd be a bunch of riddles and puzzles to solve, and there'd be 4 grand prizes of golden stuff to get, which would act as keys to be able to get her power passed, which will be able to get her power that was passed down into the disc, which will be able to get her power that was passed down into a disc, because she made an avatar for that game that would eventually become Odysseia. Now Odysseia, once you get the program to be able to use it, you can turn into Odysseia at any time, and Odysseia is a game character that she made that was based on the Magnavox Odyssey. That's turning her in, which I guess would turn that person into the Magnavox Odyssey console girl. If you don't know what the Magnavox Odyssey is, well, it's a very, very old console that predates a lot of old consoles. Yeah, including Atari. Yeah, back when games were really, really simple. Like a really simple version of Pong. Yeah. Anyway, the temple challenge, however, would be incomplete because the magical girl kind of died, and there was also the video game crash, and that project kind of became incomplete, and the keys were kind of lost until eventually someone would explore those ancient ruins in the city of Atari. When Atari would kind of fell out of favor and was kind of a ruined kingdom. And would eventually find them, and eventually find that disc and be able to transform. And that was the father of one of the persons that would obtain the Odysseia disc. And that guy was also a scientist who was working on his own experiments, inspired by the magical streamer girl. Yeah, where he wanted to bring digital things into reality and fuse Game World with reality. Of course, that would end up getting stolen by a really bad guy whose name is Dark Shovel. Yeah, he's the executive of this evil gaming company known as Evil Arts. And Dark Shovel, he kind of has the appearance of like a Dark Shovel Knight, only he has a laser shovel. Yeah, it's a shovel made of lasers. Yeah, the shovel blade is yeah. And he has the power of the true art of shovelware. Yes. Anyway, Dark Shovel kind of stole the technology to kind of merge the digital with reality, but missed the disc because the disc was sent to the mail after the father was captured, and sent off to someone so they would be able to transform into Odysseia and be able to save their father and stop the technology from being implemented for evil. And what Dark Shovel wanted to do was basically merge the digital into reality, so they could do things like make paywalls and microtransactions, and basically all the other stuff into and basically all the big money making stuff into real life, so that they could basically make a whole bunch of money. And one of the things Dark Shovel wanted to do was actually turn souls into money. What she actually got inspired by the secret evil by the big bad of the whole campaign, Dark Lord Mammon. Yeah, Dark Lord Mammon is a lot like Lilith or Legion in this universe. Yeah, only they're more about greed. You know, greed is massively strong. I need that money. Yeah, Dark Shovel's like, I need that money, I really do, to pay for my evil soul-sucking gacha machines. Yeah, they're soul-sucking gacha machines too. Yeah, spend some soul points to get some pulls and get yourself a waifu. And if you die in the process, that doesn't matter to me because I got my money. And nobody can stop me from doing this because I have technology that can basically bend reality. And I also got money. Yeah, Game World is quite wild. Anyway, Odyssea is the main heroine of it. Or rather, the person using Odyssea's program is the real hero of it. Yeah, Odyssea has the power of game magic as well. Yes. Her favorite weapon being the light laser master system cannon. Yeah, it's a big light gun. It's kind of like the Super Scope, only it's actually more effective. Yes, that's one of her major attacks anyway. Yes. Alright, anyway, that's all about Game World. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Yo, guys! Oh, I know what to talk about. Yo, guys. There also exists a world inside the lore that's also basically cyberspace. It exists inside of computers and such. It does cross over from time to time to other worlds such as the media dimension, but cyberspace is pretty much its own place. And yes, there are villains and heroes there. One of the major villains there is the hacker. The hacker is one of those hacktivist type people who basically wants to overthrow the government and commit acts of cyber terrorism. But in cyberspace, since the cyberspace world is merged with the real world, well, the hacker is sending viruses to attack people. Yeah. And the hacker also wants to rewrite all of cyberspace's inner code in order to basically make it into what he wants it to be. Yeah. And if he gets his hand... And he's also after some very sensitive and sometimes he's after sensitive information, which if he gets a hold of it, it'll cause a lot of destruction. You know, like launch codes and stuff. You know, basic cyber terror things. And the bureau that's basically out there to oppose him. It started off as a little girl who was the daughter of a executive for this one big arms company. And a big executive there decided to, hey, I'm gonna put her. Hey, she died in a car accident, so I'm gonna put her soul in cyberspace, which, yeah, he did that. Quite effectively, too. Unfortunately, him and his science team wanted to turn her into a weapon and sell her to the government. And how they did that was they basically experimented on her and turned her into a living glitch, which gave her the abilities of glitch magic. Yeah, the true art of the glitch. Yes. The true art of glitch is very, very powerful because one time during my lore, she kind of got out of cyberspace after learning how to do that. and came into reality and kind of turned the entire city that I was protecting, St. Joan, into a big glitch zone. Yeah. Everything was all sorts of glitch, so she's extremely powerful. Though luckily when she's more under control, she does use smaller glitch magic. Like, for example, she can use lag spikes to lag enemies and slow them down, or she can completely crash them in order to paralyze them. Or she can cause glitches to appear under their feet and cause them to get stuck in the environment. Or fall through things. Or she can alter their weapons to make their hitboxes all jank. Like, for example, somebody pulls a gun on her, she'll just glitch the gun, and then it will miss every single shot that it tries. You know, basic video game glitch stuff. Or digital glitch stuff, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing, I guess. Anyway, she's trying to stop Black Hat the hacker. Yeah, the hacker's name is Black Hat. Oh, right. Let's see. Oh yeah, have you heard of star jellies? Well, in this lore, star jellies are aliens that are slimes that come from another planet that's basically a slime planet. And star jellies come from there. And they turn into... And star jellies have the ability to turn into basically just about any form or shape that they can. Within certain limits. And sometimes they can take on the shape of people. Yeah, well, the star jellies, they do have... Well, the star jellies leader is kind of a bad guy. Although not everybody on this planet kind of follows him. Yeah. His name is Emperor Grape. Yeah, he used to be a star jelly until he used to be a star jelly of the grape jelly flavor until he fell into some radioactive waste and kind of became rather grotesque and ugly. And also kind of warped him mentally. Yeah, and he basically wants star jellies to conquer other planets. But most of the star jellies are like, nah, we're not gonna do that, except for the few that sided with him. Yeah, so he kind of came to my planet and he came to the planet I'm trying to protect and try to take over. Of course, there's also a heroine who's a star jelly, though I haven't really figured out what to do with her yet. Oh, right, Alright, another sort of villain in the lore, there's the Cypher. Now Cypher from another planet, they're basically a race of highly advanced aliens that like to implement machines with themselves. They kind of operate under the principle that they're trying to get out to better the universe and kind of go to planets and kind of try to manipulate evolution to be the way they really want it. Of course, it started off as a noble goal at first, to try and better other worlds, to try and not repeat the mistakes of the past, but got kind of taken over by rather greedy and corrupt people who kind of took it to be like, hey, I want to enslave other planets. I want to enslave other planets by fostering evolution to be the way I want to, so that everything will be obedient to us, and then we can, have things to be the way we are. And of course, when things don't work out the way they want it, they kind of become very violent and start trying to kill people. And the way they kill people is sometimes they strike everything with meteors, sometimes they cause massive natural disasters, or set off a chain reaction to destroy the planet, and then restart again from scratch, simply because things got too powerful for them and started to defy them. Yeah. They were the major villains in Titania's lore, along with the Unseelie Court, which was under Nick Naven. Where basically the civilization that Titania was part of had gotten too powerful, and the Cypher were gonna wipe everybody out by wipe everybody out in an apocalypse. But Titania was like, nah, I'm not gonna allow that. So she gathered the power to elemental lords, which are Salamander, Undyne, Sylph, and Gnome, in order to defeat them. Of course, it took many trials and tribulations to do that. She also gathered, yeah, back then Titania was just a normal human, and she was basically elected to be the Queen of Fairyland. Basically because a lot of the people in Fairyland were very unhappy with the way Cypher was trying to run things there, back when they were big in power over there. Decided, hey, why don't we take a human and make them into a fairy and do that, and have them be the leader that we want them to be. Yeah. Which is part of the reason they wanted to wipe them all out, yeah. Alright, anyway, I think that's enough for right now. I will talk about more later. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Anyway, I'll see you later. I'm trying to become more confident and do this. And I thank you guys for watching and giving me the support, yeah? Thank you very much. See you later.